are dead confident, not a single worry. Alpha 7 have everything to lose in this battle, though.
Oh, it's a big ego fight. You've got to pull it off if you're going to go for it. Aggressive scouting from Revo as he charges straight up towards them to get a read onto the setup. Like you say, man, you mess with a beast that is Tiamba right now, you better be ready to back it up.
Good nade. Milu getting hurt. Obscure getting peppered as well. Alpha 7, they know exactly what's at stake here, right? They know they have some of the best coaches, some of the best support on the planet. If they win this fight with Tiamba, this could be enough to push them ahead and secure that final slot. But it's not enough right now. They need to win this fight. It's either that or they're going to leave the mercy of Miramar up ahead.
You got Yangon getting a look in as well towards the backside here.
Hello.
With Tiamba, mate. They're coming over to see what they can find. Big sandwich now. Alpha 7 a trap between Alula and Yangon that are backdooring their way up towards Tiamba. This is going to get messy so quickly.
It's already messy, yeah, especially considering that Obscure gets knocked at the literal worst time. Claus is putting some shots downrange, and then now, yeah, you're right, Yangon Galacticos, they heard this fight ringing out. They said, well, let's take out these squads here and now. They are lurking, though, maybe saying, all right, you know, we're here. But we haven't heard those shots in a second. We'll wait for that third party to ring out, then we'll get in the mix.
You've made them feel uncomfortable, though, put the fear into them a little bit with the warning shots they fired out. So it's not as easy to clean up and get aggro. Ooh, attention turned. Delula once again hitting the shots onto Alpha 7. 1-for-1 trades as the plays come through. Carrillo up close with the shotty. Switches back to the rifle, ready to let it rip on the peak. Dopeness even trying to find a steal from distance with damage done onto Alpha 7. Yasser hard, fluffed out, quick replies back. Scrapes his way through them. Claws comes out, swinging, the shotgun gets it done. Introduces him to Big Papa Pump, but how much more punishment could he do, Juice? Tiamba with the steal.
And a save! Alpha 7 save for now, but Tiamba looking to finish him. It's Quizal all by himself. Gonna have to make a play, and it's not good enough. Tiamba crushing the dreams of some of these squads. It's gonna leave Alpha 7 with 70. Fudia right behind him, though. 3 points so far, and their whole squad alive. Fudia looking to seal the deal here now.
Tiamba silencing the marching band as they storm through that one and smash those drums, putting themselves into a good position here once again to command respect from all the squads in the lobby. You come for the best right now, Jukes. You gotta back it up.
Yes, you do, and you can see right now you got RRQ on the other side. They're in 12th place with just 2 players up, trying to make something happen for their squad. Meanwhile, dead center of this circle is none other than Nongshim Red Force. Full squad, sitting pretty. When are they going to start getting active, though? They only got 1 elimination to their name. With 54 points, that's 12 behind 6th place. A good win here could put them into that play style. Right now, you're going to see KRX. They're toast. There's no way. Unless they win this game and the next 2, that's the only chance they have. But we have seen crazier things happen in the past.
Yeah, so far down the ladder, realistically, it's more what damage can they do to other teams that are trying to progress than remedy their own disaster that they've had in some of these matchups here for our survival stage. Going to be a lofty challenge. Fury, though, still sitting pretty. They've had some great games. And once again, lining up to do more damage. Nonshin Red Force with a backline there. The Org of Yunbin hitting heavy. It will punish Ayala so far away as well. They're going to have to wrap him to grab him as the zone comes in.
That next zone does pop on up there, and you can see Nongshim, the only squad that's sitting pretty there. They have a lot of coverage. They're just sitting back, waiting for these teams to slowly creep in and then start putting some damage down range. Meanwhile, this fight's been going on for a minute. You got Tiamba, you got Yangon Galacticos. Yangon not getting that hill, that mountainside that they so desperately wanted, and it's none other than QZZ popping some shots. Actually, it was Milu that actually getting up that option. Now Smile, up close and personal with the S12K, but just a little bit too greedy. Gets finished here by Nongshim.
say, Cloud. Trying to make himself famous with the Famous, but he's so low on HP that it surely can't be done. Quick switch though, hits the headshot. Still alive, low on health, and they charge back in. Split push on the reposition, and he will buckle. Yangon out of that one.
Super unfortunate for Young Galacticos. Nongshim Red Force holding this little hospital right here. And now they're having to do a defense against none other than Tianba. Tianba looking so strong. They had the outside advantage. They start throwing all the util they have, and they have some good Molotovs here. Milu actually going to go ahead and back up with that hovercraft. And this fight is still ringing on out. But if you're a team like KRX, who's right over there, you got to get active here. You need to start eliminating this entire lobby. When are they going to make a move? That's Tizzy with the pump shotgun, knocks down Milu.
It's a big play. Milu has been an absolute powerhouse for Tianba. So bringing him down could be a nice upwards draft there for Nongshim, but they've got to maintain this pace. Lots of pressure being thrown their way. The second back-to-back team to try and crash onto this compound and remove them from the battleground. So easy, armed with a heavy weaponry as well, looking for the peak, spams over onto Eagle, barely gets back into the building.
Hyunbin said hello to QZZ. Hyunbin, only 18 years old, putting in work for his squad, trying to keep their dreams alive. They're in 11th place, but we've seen crazier things from Nongshim Red Force. Goes back to the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational. They won it, and they won it on the last game of the tournament. So that is one squad you could never count out.
We do have to say goodbye to RRQ on this run. Still stuck down there in the depths towards 12th place. Tianba with 2 players left, one of them knocked for now as well towards the upper side. GK and Ulf still fighting to see if they can climb slightly higher up the standings here, Jukes. From 7th up to 4th, it's a relatively easy leap if they can find some way of keeping themselves in the running. A conversation of a couple elims, a bigger placement finish. Hyunbin not done yet though. Dealing big damage for Nongshim. He's fired up. The nade knocks him down. And Eagle swoops back in for another elimination here.
But super fortunate for Nongshim Red Force. They take out Tianba, and they are making this happen. So many teams in the top 6 already out. Furia, I believe the only squad still left there. That's a huge opportunity for Nongshim Red Force to catch up, and that is GK eliminated.
Saw the one chance, man, where he's thinking, fingers crossed, if I can somehow get 2 elims off the back of this, would have been walking away with something nice rather than leaving with nothing on that one. They got those 3 elims at the start when they took on GOAT. That was Ragnarok that made the play, but that's all they get here.
Brutal. Just 1 point shy of that 6th place position. That's where they're going to end up for now. But Nongshim Red Force are so hungry. They are looking so good in this match. This is the game to put them in the show here at the last second. Oxy gets a knock on to Chief. KRX, surprised this team is being so passive. I mean, yeah, you're at the bottom of the leaderboards, but if you even want the chance, you need to take out this whole lobby. You got to get crazy aggressive. You have some high ground. What is it going to take for KRX to finally wake up and get aggressive here?
The passive play just won't cut it. Wow. Nade back over as well. Furia eating the shrapnel from that one, and it's an easy takedown with the follow-up from Mahan. So Furia do lose 1 player, but they instantly get revenge with quick shots back onto Malik. No crime goes unpunished in this lobby right now, Jukes.
This is a important game for Furia. Yeah, they're in 2nd place right here. They got 8 eliminations, but they understand that we need a strong game, so strong that we don't even got to worry about Miramar. And they are doing that here. So they are playing as though their tournament life is on the line, and they are looking good. 3 players up. The zone is starting to close. They're going to have to find a way into this circle, but they are looking rock solid here.
Yeah, Furia definitely releasing the beast, man. They want to go all the way to the finals. Huge plays that we've seen from them in the survival stage. Like you say, dude, it's 5 margins between the squads beneath them. It's a game like this, 8 elims, seeing yourself rise up, getting into a better spot, leaving the other squads beneath you further down. They've just got to stick to this business, not let it slip. Painful scenes for Ulf as well. Could have been a different story on this one, Jukes, but it's just one man left, Solus, cowering behind the monster truck, thinking about a timeline where he can steal away a couple more points somehow, some way.
Well, he's definitely going to get some placement points, and we're so close on the leaderboards that I have a strong feeling that there's going to be a team going home by just one singular point. So Solus staying up for his squad here could be the difference maker. Let's just see how long he can hang on. Furia are outside of the zone. They have a vehicle there. Now they're going to hop into it, but this is going to be a death push. They have no room to move here. They're going to be going wide out in the open. And you can see Nongshim Red Force waiting for it. The whole lobby is staring at this. And the shots are ringing out. They try to sneak through the gate. It's just silence. Looks like he's going to be able to get away for now. And no, Furia just couldn't make the rotate.
Pandemonium trying to get through that small gap in the fence. KRX stealing points where possible as Nongshim also have their eyes lit up on the pipeline of Furia here. Very similar narrative for those two teams. It's just the Furia at least have the safety net of knowing they're currently within those upper ranks, above the top 6. For Nongshim, you want to keep grinding this one out, guarantee yourself enough points to be above that threshold.
QXEZ, there goes Furia, so that is it. Top 6 teams, all out. Huge opportunity out of all these squads here. Obviously, for Nongshim Red Force, 11 eliminations. They need to win this game. Second place isn't it. They need that chicken dinner. Solus hopping in the vehicle, denies it. Oh, actually, I thought he was going to deny it, but Hoxie ends up getting that last shot onto him. So now it is really just up to KRX versus Nongshim Red Force. And it is none other than Nongshim that got everything to gain here.
It's a big final head-to-head to this team. You've looked great in the fights we've seen leading up to this point, but how strong is the finish for them? Oh, peek over QZZ with the engage, and they can follow up with this. They go in swift, Duke. Spinny firing off the buck shot quick, hoping that he can dome another one. As the pump action looking good to try and whittle down the numbers for Nongshim. It's a 2 versus 4, and Tizzy's getting hit on the top.
Tizzy gonna have to make a play. He peeks up, he goes into the open, gets the knock, but some great support play. It's up to So Easy with the S12K. Gonna have to make it happen all by himself. What can he do? Gets a thirst, perfect. Get every single point that you can. Huge, huge flush right there for So Easy.
This could be big for him as well, man. A little bit of timing. If he can actually get the heal off, he's going to be in a great position to at least attempt, to the best of his abilities, to fight for this one. 1 versus 3. What have you got for us So Easy? Can you live up to your name and make that a reality? His tree's going to be caught slipping, trying to get the bandages out. He's going to pull back into cover. Wants to go for the jump shot round the corner, baiting across there, spotted through the window, losing HP.
And he just says, nope, I'm out of here. And it's KRX that wins the game. All the way down in last place. End up sneaking a chicken dinner here towards the end. But Nongshim Red Force, are you kidding me? This is an exciting match for them. Sure, they don't end up getting those extra 4 placement points with that chicken dinner, but you can tell they were fighting for everything they could possibly get.
It was a great approach on it. So what you've got to do, man, it's the one chance, right, where we're looking at the teams above them falling to the wayside early. They're getting Ealing after Ealing. They're playing aggressive. That's the solution, Jukes. That's the answer.
Man, you take a look at these players' faces. You can just tell the intensity, the anxiousness in the air is at an all-time high right here. So many squads going home. I said it's not just 40 players. You got the of them want to go home. It's all about making those plays right towards the end. Even Furia, right? Furia currently sitting in second place, and you can see the passion coming from Igor right now. He wants to make sure that these guys are doing everything they possibly can to win. And let's listen in to this victory from KRX.
이거 우선 기어갔다.
동현아 왼쪽으로 벌려도 돼. 왼쪽. 온다 동현 왼쪽. 왼쪽 1평 좋다.
집안에 집안. 한 대
야
더.
과감하게 해.
나이스. 나이스.
Tempered celebration there. They know there's still a lot to be done, but that's a good start. Obviously, this is where you really need to keep this going with huge game after game if they want to be within that conversation. Towards the upper echelons, it's only fine margins of the points, but it's so far down, Jukes. It's going to be really hard to carry this on.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them just kind of go a little crazier, a little bit more wild, right? Because that's what we need to see, right? We need to see a wild chicken dinner, crazy eliminations. But maybe that was the one, right? Maybe that was the one to kind of really give them a little bit of confidence. They literally need to win the next two with double-digit eliminations if they want any chance. Now, anything less than that ain't gonna cut it. So you still gotta give it up for them, right? I mean, the South Korean team, we know what they can do. It's just they've waited till the last second. That's why we're so doubtful.
Yeah, might have come a little bit too late. But hey, a win's a win. They're still going to be proud of themselves on that one. They were taking some decent fights as well.
Yeah, you know, this is what gets so tough when you're at the survival stage towards the end. If this was in the first day, right, or something like that, we'd be like, oh, let's go, right? Like, that's how you do it, right? That's perfect gameplay, literally, for KRX. It's just they're at a stage now where it's got to get a little bit more wild. But you know what? I want to hear from Geek and Cal Aris. Let's go ahead and take it on down to the stage and hear what they got to say.
Yeah, you do, because I've got Ragnarok once again here. You know what? He gave such an amazing interview last time. We had to pull him again to talk about some of these games. So let's take a look at what we've had today, right? It does feel to us, some of the pundits, the experts, that it's been a very passive lobby from a lot of the teams here throughout the day. Does it feel like that when you guys are playing it in the lobby, or what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, to be honest, it feels like harder than the 3 days that we played before. 2 days in the group stage and 1 day here. The lobby is being very passive. Like, you can reach the zone 3, zone 4 with 62, 60 players. That's so fucking...
So much, Kalaris. I've got Ketch here from Ulf Esports. We've got to talk a little bit about map number 3, managing to secure the chicken dinner. It's put you back into the conversation. You're in that bubble, just a few points shy of getting into the top 6. What were the comms like after you managed to secure that chicken dinner? Did a bit of self-belief come back into the team?
Üçüncü maçtaki wininiz hakkında konuşmak istiyorum birazcık. Şu anda böyle işte puanları yakın olan birkaç tane takım var, onlar arasındasınız. Top 6'ya girmek için arada çok küçük farklar oluyor. Oyun aldıktan sonra takımınızdaki atmosfer nasıl oldu? Size bir push verdi mi?
Yani win almamız tabii ki bizi çok mutlu etti. Daha çok motive olduk. Çünkü bu tarz maçları elimizden çok veriyorduk. Bu maçta biraz şanssızlık oldu ama gene hani puan alabildik. Yani finale çıkmak istiyoruz. Kendimizi göstermek istiyoruz orada.
Yeah, of course, this gave us a push as a team because we many times we just fall short of like winning a map. So it was definitely a big motivation for our team. And now also we collected some points by becoming top 3, and we hope that we can still make it.
Well, 2 more maps before the finals 6 are decided. Now, these last 2 maps are going to be on Miramar. You've got a good track record on Miramar so far, especially in the group stage and yesterday as well. Are we thinking that this is going to be, you know, a more promising run? How do you guys feel going into this last Miramar? Because it feels like what you guys are lacking at the moment are eliminations, because you're typically, you know, quite an aggressive team. So what's going on in these next 2 games?
Top 6'nın belirlenmesine son 2 map kaldı. 2 Miramar haritası. Hem dünkü maçlarınızda da grup aşamasında da aslında Miramar'da iyi oynadığınızı görüyoruz. Sanki takımca böyle biraz puanla eksik kalıyor gibi. Yani öldürme skoru az kalıyor gibi geliyor. Nasıl bir stratejiyle giriyorsunuz bu oyunlara?
Yani biraz dengemiz bozuldu. Bunu düzeltmeye çalışıyoruz. Bu 3. maçta kendimizce düzelttiğimizi düşünüyorum. Bunu bir şekilde üstesinden gelip finale çıkıp bütün hatalarımızı fixleyip önümüze bakacağız.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we lost our balance somehow, but we fixed this with match 3, and we just want to focus on these last 2 games and do our best.
It's time for the last 2 games to come over onto this main stage. Ketch, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't worry, he's not injured. For those of you at home freaking out, it's not an injury, okay? We're going to go back over to the studio to break down everything we've seen so far before we go into our final 2 maps of the survival stage.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
Exciting things happening over at the Allianz Vault, so I've grabbed Trev to break down everything that's going on in chess today.
Well, at the moment, we've got Magnus Carlsen taken to the stage for Team Liquid, a team very in need of points, to say the least, at the moment in the Club Championship. So a lot is relying on Magnus Carlsen right now for them. It would get them their first place, it would get them their 2 top 8s, so a lot riding on him at the moment. We've already had a few of the big organizations when it comes to the Club Championship playing. Dennis Lazovic has got through to the next round for AJAL, and we've got Hikaru going through for Falcons as well. So it's big news across the board for all these teams. Nobody really making a breakaway just yet. It's as expected so far.
I love that, though. I love that we're getting some more Liquid storylines. Still AGAL in the conversation, and still lots of chess action left to play. So when we know more, we'll check back in.
Thank you, Glitter and Trap, for that Club Championship update, as AGL is looking to make a push so they can be in the top 6 to actually go to the finals. This squad just hasn't been performing like what we saw them being able to do in the group stages, but for this last game, it has to do with none other than KRX. They finally showed up and they put themselves in a way that if they get another win, Max, they could make that push to top 6.
Not just KRX, by the way, it's South Korea for the win. Yes, first and second place with the side of Nongshim Red Force securing that building. But yeah, KRX definitely desperate to get some points on board. And actually, I was going to pick their team to win, but I was like, oh, it's KRX, they're probably not going to win it. But by the way, the match MVP is QXC, big name over there in South Korea after that big roster shuffle. And you know what? It took some time. They showed promises sometimes of being consistently, but this game in particular, I feel like they took all the right steps, Nipchura, to actually get that chicken dinner. It looked a bit shaky at the end, but you know what? That was just enough to get that win.
No, I'm really glad that KRX were able to win that. They made that push across to the north side of zone that I was hoping that they would do like a lot earlier, like 2 zones earlier, but ended up not happening, and it worked out just really well for them. As you're seeing, as we look over the highlights, you know, Nongshim we saw on the match rankings there, they also got 18 points. Oh, Furia. I feel bad for Furia. They had nowhere to go here, Max.
One team that was able to get that second place finish, though, Nongshim Red Force lays that squad. We usually talk about how they're not really aggressive. Guess what? All the fights were just coming to them.
Look, I actually had high hopes that, well, not high hopes, but like their positioning here, and especially being able to take that rooftop from KRX, I actually thought they were going to pull out the win from this position, but obviously, you know, Zone was sort of closing in on that rooftop, which made it a little bit difficult for them to be able to peek over that top, because obviously KRX had a bit of a rotate in with only the trees to cover them, so it was looking really good. I also was a little bit worried for KRX because they didn't make the push on the one player that was left. Even though they did that, they get the chicken dinner, they're still a little bit afraid, and you can see it in their play style right now, but I do hope they can take the momentum to the next game.
I mean, right now, what was it? What did you say, ladies? I can't hear you over this loud crowd from Alpha 7. They're also doing a bit right now with none other than Sanskrit from the Indonesian crowd. But I know there was a clip that you wanted to see, Niptura.
There was indeed, yeah. I just really wanted to see a little bit of a replay of KRX Hoxie, right? Because he played the anchor role to a T. Really enjoying that. Yeah, here you go. Oh, no, it wasn't Hoxie. It was QZZ here.
You told me who's behind the tree. Hoxie's behind a tree.
Hoxie's not home. Oh, yeah, he's over there. So QZZ is going to be over here. That's who I was really talking about. Because look, Benny and Trey are over by that hillside, right? And eventually QZZ is actually going to take this tree spot. And as the other two at the compound move around to either side, QZZ is right there, ready to take any sort of action he might need to take. He's got that back angle. There goes Hoxie. So it's just down to those two on the front line. And QXZZ is doing his job as an anchor point really, really well, holding the fort, giving his team a defense, giving his team cover on those angles, and that is what's going to win them that game.
It's a good one. It was a good play at the end of the day. Almost gave many 1v1s back to back. I was like, oh, that's a bit scary. But actually, the not KRX, Nongshim Red Force win. If Yubin didn't go overly aggressive on the chamber position, that was a bit of a throw. As much as I do like Yubin, I have to be critical when he does a misplay. That was a bit of a misplay, a bit of a throw coming out from Yubin. But still, South Korea, showing up massively here. We've still got 2 Miramars, and usually Miramar in South Korea is not a great cocktail.
Would it be safe to say, Max, that Hyunbin finally did something that just pissed you off?
That's a bit of a stretch, but I was a bit like, very bad, Hyunbin. No, I didn't like that.
All right, come down there, One Island. But let's take a look at the overall to see what it's currently looking like with the top 6 teams and how close everything currently is. We started at the beginning of the day, a lot of teams being just separated by 14 points. Right now, Tiamba, they are confirmed to go to the finals. They're not going to be stopping. Furia with that last game as well were able to do so well. But if we're looking at the other teams, I mean, 6th place right now to 8th place. It's only separated by 2 points.
Yeah, I want to sort of have a little touch on GK Esports. I mean, they were turning up the heat in that previous game, especially against GOAT, stopping a rotation over on the bridge and finding such a huge position so early into military base. But then what happened? It was kind of just like they couldn't hold on to that spot. They had such an opportunity with 3 eliminations heading on into that rotation and Alpha 7 and all these teams above them dropping like flies. It was going to be their game. And obviously, you know, we heard it there in the interview. They are happy with the way that they're going, and they are saying that it's just going to have one little game to change things around with them. I do believe it. I do believe that it should have been that game, though.
And by the way, I'm looking at GOAT right now. GOAT is just the biggest outlier for me because of the amount of eliminations, the thing that we've been talking about this team, outside of the win that they have had, they've only gotten 4 placement points.
Look, Hyunbin didn't piss me off, but GOAT is. Okay, that's for sure, because they got 14 placement points. They got 1 chicken dinner at the start of the day, right, on Rondo, which was a very impressive Rondo. I loved it. It was so nice outside of Danqing. And after that, nothing. And I am so sad because right now they just keep slipping. They might find themselves actually on this second page very soon. They're right now still a lot of big names. Ulf, All Gamers, RQ, Yangon. All those guys need to show up. 2 games, man. 2 games before we know which will get 16 teams headed into the finals.
Yeah, and for KRX, I said it earlier, Masters were saying it too. If they want to get a chance at even contending for the top 6, they need to make sure they get a win here in this next game. If not, they're going to be fully out. So let's send it over to Kalaris, which I believe he is with none other than One Island.
All right, drag them on in here. Come on, let's talk about everything that has been going on because we have got ourselves an interesting situation for Korea as a whole. From my perspective, I was mentioning on a desk before that it feels like the lobby is being quite passive here at the moment, but this is an interesting thing that plays into our Korean teams. I think they're very good at exploiting teams when they're overly aggressive against them. And now we've been able to see a little bit of that here from Nongshim Red Force to be able to kind of put that to bed.
Well, Nongshim have had so many good games on military circles, picking up a host of chicken dinners across it, right? So it's certainly these scenarios which is forcing this frankly stagnant lobby sometimes to jump into those more aggressive situations that is going to push them into a position to be able to exploit those exact weaknesses that you were highlighting there. So I think, yeah, right on the money with that one. Maybe they're going to be given more opportunities as people get more desperate.
Understandable. It bears repeating, though, that it is very understandable that these teams are all being a bit slower about it. $3 million on the line with only these last few games remaining here, John. Is there anyone that you're looking at? Obviously, KRX is, if they get themselves that win, but they're still in last place. They still need big performances.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it would be great if KRX can make it in terms of a rags to riches story.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. I'm still looking at Ulf because this is a team that needs to prove themselves, and I'm desperate for them to jump up in towards those top 6 and maybe just about squeak in around the corner for a place amongst the top 6.
The middle pack's still unbelievably thick, dense here for our last day of survival stage. And again, if this passivity continues on, I am concerned for some of the teams. It means that all of our eliminations are going to be spread out across the majority of those teams in the middle pack. And from there, we could even get a tied situation for 6th place.
Absolutely. I mean, chicken dinners will come down to it as well. That first tiebreaker, really important to be able to get those under the belt. People are starting to feel the pressure. The audience is starting to try and alleviate that, but I don't know if it's just adding to it for so many of our teams. The noise has got to feel intimidating. But I see some smiles here and there around the arena, and we're hoping that they can take that pressure and convert it into diamond.
Yeah, not only is it the Alpha 7 fans, but it's also the Furia fans on over here as well. They are loud and proud. Everybody is really coming out in full force here for their teams to try and get themselves a top 6 finish, and it is going to be very, very close. The only one that I truly in my mind can guarantee is the fact that Tiamba has looked unbelievably impressive here throughout the survival.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been far and away the best performing team, certainly on the first day. They've now gotten enough probably to see themselves safe, but there's only one way we're going to find out who's going to join them. Kalaris, let's head over to the casters to take us into Miramar.
Thank you, John. Thank you, James. And thank you, Paris. You've been amazing so far today. Keeping the energy here for the survival stage, building and building. We've had Alpha 7 find their way into a fairly comfortable position, looking better and better with the energy that's been coming out from their side of the audience. Furia as well, a similar storyline. Everyone's screaming, pouring their hearts out for them. But there are 2 former champions fighting to stay alive in the competition. The other is a current reigning champion in Yangon Galacticos that had so much more to do. For the Yangon fans in the house, let's give them some energy!
Let's get it going. The crowd is excited. They are hyped. They know what's at stake as we get into the sandy desert of Miramar. 10 teams going home after these next 2 matches. And I've said this before, Jackie, and it's kind of wild after talking to some of these players and, you know, just getting a little bit of their viewpoints of just how insane of a blessing it is to be here in Paris, France, experiencing the culture, the love that these players get shown. I'm telling you, everybody out there that's watching, if you're a PUBG Mobile fan, a gaming fan in general, to be able to make it to the Esports World Cup has got to be a dream of a lifetime. I mean, the way that you get to get taken care of here, the food every game imaginable. I mean, these guys have barbers, massage therapists on stage for these players. It's insane. And I talked to some of these guys and they're just like, hey, you know what? Man, my hotel is booked up to the last day of survival stage. They said we win, we move on to the top 6, they'll extend it, right? If not, boom, pack your bags, we're going home the next day. So it's time to put every single thing on the line here. Make it happen for your squad. And there's only way to do that here, Jackie. You know what that is?
To show up and give it your damn best, Jukes. You've got to bring it and get those chicken dinners. Everything is earned, nothing is granted. And when the battle rages on here with the survival stage, we get into our final 2 games. Our opener on Miramar begins here. We get our circle towards the northern side, and we'll see if there's any more surprises in store.
Oh boy, here we go. Looking at some of the drops, so far, so good. No kind of crazy hot drops, no shenanigans here. We see GK stopping by to get some tacos in that gas station. Gonna be needed to fuel up for the road here as these guys still have a long one to cross. I mean, yeah, 8th place to 6th, only a 2-point gap for the side of GK. But that is the difference in points for now. Man, gotta give some massive love to Nongshim Red Force, right? They were so down on the leaderboards. I think they were like 12th place, somewhere around there. And just like that, in one game, all the way up to 3rd. And that is how close this thing is. We can see the same thing happen now for AGAL, RRQ. I mean, even our defending champs, Yangon Galacticos, right? They're still within that range. And it is absolutely possible for them to make that run. But they got to make it happen now. And speaking of now, why don't you guys go hop in the game while these guys get looted and go ahead and get that Nine Tails Fury AUG. The Uzumaki Naruto event is still happening, guys. One of the most phenomenal events in PUBG Mobile history. Go in the game and get that now because woo, this thing's about to heat up in just a couple minutes.
It will indeed. You're going to want a weapon that can match the level of excitement we got going on here, live from EWC 26 at Pmwc. Remember the name? Get your friends online right now, Jigs. They haven't sent everyone the link, even the family dog. Get them sat down, get them watching, because the games have been delivering. You're doing the esport a disservice, Jigs. You've got to be here right now. You're missing out.
Missing out big time. I mean, look how close this leaderboard is. And you can see the look on these players' faces. You got Killer Joe player cam down there. Just straight locked in. Alpha 7 are going to go ahead and get their El Pozo drop location, so they're going to be looted up to perfection here towards the end of the game. We'd love to be able to see that from them. They're currently sitting in 4th place, but not comfortable just yet. You know, if they go out early, 3-4 teams below them get a decent game, and they're stuck having to deal with everything in the last match of the day. And one thing that we haven't talked about, Jackie, that we got to bring up now. What's Tianma going to do? Okay, they're safe.
Yeah.
They're making it to the finals. When you're that safe, you know what you can do?
You can get risky, Jukes.
Get mighty risky. You can look down those leaderboards and say, hey, who stole that last croissant at lunch?
Ooh.
Saying, who do I not want to see in the finals?
Yeah, who would I prefer to avoid not being in my lobby? When I come out swinging, we were surprised they even had to be in this position, right? A team that looks absolutely terrifying when they're playing their A-game PUBG Mobile. They come out survival stage, reinvigorated and delivering. If they go into finals, they want to do it on their terms, so you're damn right. Who are they going to take the heat to? Will they get aggro and try and kneecap some teams along the way? I hope so.
I hope so too, man. It's going to be wild to see here. Yeah, Tianma finally true to form. I mean, I was shell-shocked even seeing them here in the survival stage. And that's why I worried for so many of these insane teams that are here, because I was like, man, Tianma starts going crazy, then they're for sure going to make it. That's one more slot gone, and potentially devastating for so many of these squads. Wolves, the team representing the North American side of things. They're right there on that 7th place position cutoff. Only 1 point separated. Can you imagine the pressure these guys are feeling now? Dopeness taking an eye on 7-2-1 GS. Both these teams, 14th, 15th place. They're not out of the running. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. It could happen. I mean, KRX isn't done yet, but they need to win back-to-back, at least in my opinion. They got to win 2 games in a row.
Yeah, man, it feels like it's one of those where honestly you kind of need like a three-peat situation to give yourself so much gas to push up with some of these other squads still accumulating points in the midst of these games even. We need to see them going out cutthroat as well, Jukes. Got to be big elim action for that side if this is the start of a new chapter coming into the closer of the last few games of survival stage. A lot of potential twists in the narrative on this one. We'll keep you locked in as things start to shift and we see some of the more important fights. We'll guide you through it, but sit back and enjoy the action for now.
I'll tell you one team that a whole bunch of fans are biting their nails right now because they are staring at AGAL. This is a team, folks, that is, or this is an organization, right, that's competing in the Esports World Cup overall, event over event. And their org needs them to make it to the finals. And I mean needs them to be in top 6 right here. And they're not far off at all. They're in 11th place, only 9 points separating them from that 6th place cutoff. So the fans of this organization really rooting on these PUBG Mobile superstars to make it happen at the last second. Man, it's so crazy to see here. I don't even know. Like, it's going to hurt to see some of these squads gone because there's so many big names, so many big players. Those 7th, 8th, 9th place teams, I think, are going to really sting if we see them not make it.
Soul-crushing moment for some of them, man. You grind so hard all year long. Try and bring your A game. It's over before the real meat and potatoes of the action even truly begins to fight for that lion's share of the prize pool. It's not even that as well, Jukes. It's just having the pride of going home to your home country, being celebrated for the victory, for the achievement you found here. We saw the eruption when Alpha 7 did it back in 2024, when Yangon took that win last year. The narrative of the young guns that came out and surprised everyone. And now that's a pipeline for some of these teams. You've got to be within the top 6 to even have a chance to make that your history.
It's top 6 or nothing. Literally, that's the only thing we're staring at on the leaderboards is that line right in between the goat and the wolves, the 2 animals of the lobby. Those goats looking mighty dangerous, though. Next zone, where's it gonna go? Oh, we're gonna see a crazy shift. Okay, we're going up to the north side, and Goat likes that one because they're right below Cruz del Valle, and they are big chilling right now. Nongshim Red Force, wow. Well, they need to make a big rotation on up, and you got our defending champs, Young Galacticos, all the way to the west side. This is going to be a really rough rotation for them. They're going to have to fight their way in.
It's going to be a long journey, potentially a tumultuous one as well with the squads that are ahead of them. So we need some no-holds-barred level gameplay from Yangon. Pull out all the stops. And give the fans in the house something to be excited about, that you touch on as well for Goatman. So damn good when it comes to the mechanical prowess of PUBG Mobile. The gun skill, it's sick. The way they split off each other and always have confidence that a single solo can do so much versus a team, that pays dividends. But when it comes to the crunch, they've been buckling in some of these really important situations. They've got to fix that right now.
They have to. They have to. No choice. No more time to waste. It's come down to this last 2 games, and finally the shots ring out. And who is it? It's Tianba, and that's on Ragnarok of all players. The superstar here of GK getting taken out. That has gotta hurt. 3 players up. Gotta have to do something here.
It feels like we felt that DBS shot go off. That's a hell of an elim to find. A GK squad that's trying to grind as well, dude. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how far even was he?
How did he get himself so exposed to get thirsted too? That's gotta hurt. The one thing I did like to hear when he did that interview there with Calaris was the fact that he said that no matter what, we do qualify or we don't qualify, I trust my team. And that I love to hear, right? Because we've, in the history of PUBG Mobile, I've seen so many teams, you know, barely, you know, not make it into the tournament. You know, things happen, and the second it's over, split, having to swap players, do all that. They don't give themselves time to really develop together. But it just sounds like GK are working together as a family here. Now it's a 3-man family, right? And this 3-man need to do something here.
Doesn't matter what the numbers are, they've got to come together like the 5 fingers on one hand, bro. Form a fist and punch through the rest of the lobby. It's the only pipeline they've got available. It does get way harder for them to do that easily. Only a few points as well. Literally 2 points away from being able to get your head above water. Push past walls, push past go. 1 more point on top of that, suddenly you're lapping E-Arena. The stepping stones are there.
They're right there, man. I mean, only 2 points away. I mean, all they need is that 1-inch punch to get it done. KRX are going to need a baseball bat, though. And the zone, that could be the bat in their corner here. They got a nice circle. See what they're able to do with it as teams playing this extremely slow, not trying to get into any silly engagements here. Can't afford to make a single misstep. Tianba, that is the one team in this lobby that can do whatever the heck they want, and that's what makes them dangerous. All that nerves, all the pressure on all these teams. Tianba are the only ones that aren't feeling it because they know they're making it. Alpha 7 popping out the vehicle now, looking over towards RRQ, trying to steal some eliminations. Looks like RRQ is going to engage this. Carrillo forced to hit the deck. Gets a lot of damage onto him. Where's the rest of Alpha 7? He's pretty isolated here. Carrillo all by his lonesome. He's going to throw out some util, but where's the rest of his squad to help him out here? He needs that support right now.
This could be way worse for Alpha 7 than it would be for RRQ, so they're willing to scrap. It's messy on the pullback as well, Jukes. No easy escape. Carrillo so low. He's got to hit the deck, instantly apply the bandages to survive through this. Nade thrown on, it rolls right up to him. Goodbye.
Carrillo could hear that nade bounce and almost touched his dang earlobe as he gets eliminated. RRQ looking to apply that pressure, the crank to Alpha 7. Revo just forced to sit and watch as his teammate is gone. They are not in a comfortable position here, folks. 4th place, yeah, but they only have 70 points on the board. It's going to be up to Guizhou and Obscure to make it happen for their team.
RRQ saying in the comms, you thought you could fight us, you thought you could bully us on this one, and we're further down the standings. Not today. They throw the heat right back at them, smoke through 2 players. They leave Alpha 7 with their tails tucked, bailing out.
I love to see this from RRQ. Yeah, you know what? They need to turn up the heat. They're a good 12 points away from 6th place. They need a good game. And with this circle and how it's going to end, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. If you can get some easy eliminations, I mean, none of these eliminations are easy, but you can get some points early on. It's going to help you out big time. Nongshim Red Force, though, right there in the corner, throwing out some of their utility. And it's a battle on the edge of the circle here on the east side.
No doubt, by the way, man, this is a new Nongshim Red Force we're seeing right here off the back of that previous game. You went from feeling like you were slipping, like you couldn't quite get a grasp on the ladder to climb up. Suddenly now, the biceps have engaged, mate. And they're getting themselves up nice and high. If they take this fight onto RRQ, get a few points out of it, show they mean business early as well, start to climb a little bit further. That's that conversation of safety that could become a reality from them. They leaped up from so far down the standings off the back of that last game. They just want to lock it in, Jukes.
Oh, lock in is what these teams definitely need to do. Let's see where this next circle goes. All right, you know, a pretty typical zone here, nothing too special. KRX are in the zone. Yangnan Galacticos are right there on that top left side of the circle next to your Cruz del Valle. And now that dinner bell is starting to ring because someone's going to get a chicken here in a minute. Let's take a look at the replay, though. Jan Fox with a beautiful nade. Oh, my goodness. He didn't even move a muscle. He's like, I'm gone.
Ooh, saying I'm gone as well. That could be something that's ringing out for AGAL as they're getting hit from two sides. This is looking messy, mate. Nade line up as well with Milu holding the front door if they try and push him. Oh, no.
AGAL eliminated. This is devastating. With 58 points, they're going to need a monster game in the final match of all matches in order to make it into the finals. And this is what we were talking about. Tianba can do whatever the heck they want. They're not feeling any pressure. Everybody else is. And they are tearing up the lobby and crushing dreams. Meanwhile, it's RRQ getting mighty close to the side of Nongshim Red Force. Tizzy is able to get a heal off so easy, up close and personal. Gonna throw some util, buy some time for his teammates. That does pepper up a little bit the side of RRQ, but not too much. Now so easy, he's going in with the shots. And he's applying that pressure on RRQ. He's getting the knocks. Nongshim Red Force looking strong here. Applying those shots through the smokes. The nades are ringing out and barely surviving.
He's going to try and get a quick heal off. So easy tucking in whilst Hyunbin primes the nade over the top. Oh, the Ember shuts down one. It's a good engage. RRQ got to rage quit this fight as they don't want none of this. It's gone incredibly dire for them quickly. Mini 14 for Genfos in a back line, panicking to scan over the ridge and see if he can provide some support. A bit of overwatch to bail them out, but Nongshim back on the move.
They're out of here. They say, we got what we wanted. We got some eliminations. We hurt you good enough. Let's go ahead and get in the zone and secure this win. Nongshim with this win here, that will 100% lock them in. All they need is a good performance here. Oh, that's GOAT though, Killer Joe. Looks like he is gonna get eliminated. Nongshim Red Force are on a tear right now.
A big fight between those two. A stolen point there for RRQ, it seems, as they do flush out the Dan Mound from GOAT, leaving them on 3 players, mirroring the battle of attrition that we've got available there for Nongshim Red Force. 3 versus 3, so tight on the standings for either of them. And for GOAT, a flubbed game, one where they go down off the back end of engage like this, mate. That could be them slipping out.
Oh, man. AGAL will absolutely disrupt their Orb's chances in the club championship if they don't make it into the top 6. And with them being out early, it is really tough. They have 1 game left to do it. All eyes are going to be on them to clutch it up here in that last game. But we're not done yet. We got Nongshim Red Force putting some shots. You can see, look at the coach's eyes right now. Locked in. Hoping to see something from his team. 3 players are still up. They're playing on the edge. Gonna have to make a push on the GOAT here eventually, though.
Yeah, that's GOAT taking out some of the GK players in the midst of all this as well. So that's brought them down to only 1. Their direct competition beneath them struggling. But you can still see Nongshim applying the pressure. GOAT don't like it. Wobbly knees on this one.
I'm looking at the coach's face, and I guarantee you that's the biggest smile we're going to see from him all day today, because that was a super lucky shift on his circle as it heads straight on over to Nongshim. That buys them a lot more time. Now they can just sit there. On the other side, though, it's going to be a battle as Ulf trying to make it happen for their team. 7-2-1 GS really down on the leaderboards. They need a win here, but they're gonna have to go through Ulf in order to get it. Ulf, desperate. Aaron on the back line, trying to find some angles. Catch getting the confirmation here. That is huge. Every point counts. And now you got the Wolves on the other side. They hear these shots. They need some of these eliminations. They're coming in for the third party.
Everyone pulling up. The squad arriving with a gat at the hip, ready to make moves. Let's see if they've got a clip that can make some bodies turn cold on this one. Solar's tucked in behind the car with the AUG. Sitting inside the smoke with a pump as well. Just trying to stay alive for 721 GS, the sole survivor of the squad. Wolf knows they've done a fair bit of damage, but trying to turn around in the car doesn't work as necessary hits the shots and punishes.
And some necessary shots indeed. Looking so good right here. Necessary before going into today was the 4th place player as far as individual player stats on day 1, and Ulf getting torn to shreds as they're just trying to survive. It's just Aaron. He's driving, he's turning, his back wheel is gone. He's forced to jump out and hit the deck.
Brief moment of respite to get the meds in. Bandaging himself back up and throwing the smoke to at least try and provide some sort of cover, but the flames tubes come in. The Masco finally found as well amongst all this. The molly spreads from so easy, so we lose Aaron, we lose 721 GS. 2 squads fall and Wolves are still fighting as Joker takes a bullet to the cranium.
And with that elimination on the 721 GS, I'm gonna call it. That is them outdone and dusted. The chances of them making it in are slim to none now. And that is gonna be pretty much for all these teams around that side of the leaderboards. They need to either make it happen here or good luck. Young Galacticos, I am looking at you. What are you gonna do here? You are the defending champs. You have all 4 players up. You have a good position in this circle. How are you gonna capitalize it? We're about to find out.
Ooh, KRX with a mini 14. Tony K not ready for that play, mate. Sniped from the back. Schweppes bailing out on a reposition as well, just trying to find cover to stay alive. You can take nothing for free in this lobby. All the space is fought for so aggressively from our remaining squads.
Let's see right now, man, these remaining squads are desperate. I have not heard this arena so quiet all day today. And right now, here comes Alpha 7. Maybe they're gonna start making some noises because Guizhou gets taken out. And that is Alpha 7 eliminated.
It's a quiet game from them. With the squads close by, starting to have some big performances, opportunities to lap them could become a reality the longer this one goes on. E-Arena clearing out the ground floor of the compound on the move, but they don't clear it quickly enough. Oh, it's good from Dopeness to damage them on the stairs. Doubles up for 2. Goodbye, E-Arena.
Are you kidding me? Dopeness, 5 eliminations, trying to pull off the hero play. With E-Arena out, and who knows what's gonna happen. And now KRX are making some noise. Is it possible? Back-to-back chicken dinners? No way.
That's onto the champs too. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and right now that head's being backhanded by KRX as they come through cutthroat. Protect your neck, Romeo. He's in a horrible position with the nades bouncing over to him. Alula smelling that there's opportunities to try third party from the side as well.
Oh, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? He needs to get up and get moving here. They're outside of that circle. Young on Galacticos so far away from the top 6. It's literally going to be a 2-man hero play. They need to do something. 3 eliminations ain't going to be enough. There's no way they make it into this next game if they don't do more. Let's see what they can do. They're going to have to go crazy. Al-Ula on the other side, up on the north. Gonna start pressing down little by little, getting those vehicles moving. And here they go on rotation, trying to find a way, a sneaky way into this next circle.
Ooh, in the midst of all this, man, Tianba erupting.
Ow.
They get the line of sight for free onto Nonshin and punish them 1 by 1. The final elim stolen over by Hooksy from KRX as he'll get that pot shot off. And it leaves them with 2 players.
That is our defending champs eliminated. Young on Galacticos, 13th place, currently 20 points away. It's not mathematically impossible, but they're gonna have to win the next game if they want to stay in Paris, France. Looking on over though, there's still a lot of teams here. The Wolves are right there, 4 eliminations. This is their chance. The Wolves have to win this one right here, and they know it. If we win this one, we're going to the finals. We're gonna see a North American team at the Esports World Cup Finals. Let's see if they can make it happen here. They're looking mighty good. They're on the edge of the circle. This is where they play their best. You got KRX on the other side though, red hot after that last chicken dinner. If KRX somehow makes it into the finals here, folks, this will be PUBG Mobile history. The biggest comeback we have ever seen.
It would have to be from the bottom to the top of the standings. And whilst Wolves set themselves up for that clash, we've had Goat dealing damage to Tiamba and Alula, stealing Elims there to rise themselves, so Wolves know they've got to apply pressure quick. Nades over, looking for the engage as Slonic pushes up, peeking over behind the shrubbery, and will strike with the SMG, quick flick, Biddy. He's trying to play inside the smoke, but he gets popped and left pro, goodbye.
The Wolves shutting them down, 0 hesitation. They get that elimination. They shut down the South Korean squad of KRX. And you can see the look on their faces. They know that is it for them. Looking at the rest of these squads though, Goat, Wolves looking to press up even further beyond, secure their placement into the finals right here, right now. Alula can make their dreams still happen though. RRQ can make it happen. Heck, even Dopeness in 14th place if they win this game can make it happen.
That's how much turbulence we have in the standings at this point. So many sides having room to breathe, but you've got to climb over the shoulders of giants. Go team did good work to get some decent damage off to steal Elims and weaken some of our better squads within the lobby. But they fall down to 2 players. The 2 that love off angles, that love getting aggressive, that can rep themselves in situations where they're outnumbered. So we'll see what Moxie and Force could do. For Wolves, they're taking a few shots back from RQ as Genfos tucks his head down and peppers the shots towards them.
Better check yourself before you wreck yourself here. Go trying to throw some of that util on the side of the last player of Tiamba. It's none other than Milu, who's had a heck of a tournament here. He's on fire though. He's gonna be able to get a first aid off. And again, pretty inconsequential here. Milu is just there to just disrupt these teams. Just make them pay for any mistake they possibly make. Goat need every elimination they can possibly get. It's gonna be a little bit tough though. Milu is not making it easy. He's not just saying, oh no, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna fight to the very end here. And that's the end.
Goodbye. As these shot down, finished off in the end as the shot comes in from Quick, representing Alula. And that was just the entree. He's looking for the main course. A dish of Goat as they're trapped behind the vehicles. Force got to keep his head down. We saw Dopeness fighting Wolves and doing good damage, but even getting the third-party shots off onto Quick.
Quick, forced to hit the deck. Gonna go for this thirst. Does end up putting a couple shots on the Moxie, but they should be able to get that res. Aula said, no, we're pushing this. Here we go, shotguns in hand, and that's go, done for. Aula trying to roar to the top of the leaderboards. We got 3 teams remaining, and every single one of these teams needs this win.
Alula bringing the aggression to the lobby. They suffered a casualty, but it didn't bother them. If anything, they've rose to the occasion. Wolves, they've had to cower. The pack survives on, but after substantial damage from Dopeness, they're not as confident as they once looked in this game. 2 players there, 3 alive for Alula, and a full squad for Dopeness looking to deal damage and ruin their dreams.
And Dopeness are just trying to keep their dreams alive here at this point, and they have done a phenomenal job so far. 8 eliminations. They're pretty down on the leaderboards, but they're not too far down. They needed a win right here, and it's looking like they're gonna get it. They have the numbers, they have the plays, just cannot afford to make a single mistake. Baton using the welding gun to prepare that vehicle just a little bit further. Uh-oh, what is going on? Dopeness driving right in the mix here, almost gets the run over, but Claus pops him out with the headshot. Crazy plays happening back and forth as Dopeness risk it all. They go all in, and so far, it seems to be doing quite effective. That's the Wolves out of there. And now it's up to Quick and Yasser for Alula to shut down Dopeness.
All comes down to this then, the battle of two duos after the risky engagement from Dopeness. But the nade's on point, and it all falls to one man. The solo of Kenji sprinting to stay alive as Quick lives up to his name with a rapid flick and punishes him, shuts down the rest of the team. Kenji, he gets the heal back in, Jukes. But they're so far split. His crosshair's going to be off target between either of them. It's a peek up for one, decent damage. Re-peek onto Quick.
Kenji looking for the headshots here, and that's not gonna be enough. It's Alula making it happen here in the second to last match. They're playing it cool, but I'll tell you what, these guys know what they just accomplished.
Tasting the victory on the stage. Again, a tempered celebration, more just the reality of it sinking in. Proud of themselves for withstanding that. Some crazy aggression displayed from our other teams. Dopeness, they made the call, Jukes. I respect it. It's good to see.
Oh my gosh. You know, I love to see aggression. I love to see crazy, risky plays. But even I'm like, that was too much. Are you kidding me? Driving up like that. I think they just had to play it, you know, tried and true. They had the numbers. But hey, you know what? I'll give it to them, baby. I love to see that here at the end. Sometimes you gotta roll the dice.
They felt like they had plot armor as well, man. That headshot in the last seconds. The lunacy of that.
Oh, man, what a crazy turn of events here.
Even him, man, Kenji, like the way he's actually fighting it, it looked like he was ready to win this.
Dude, I mean, if they didn't have as much room in that circle, I think he could have hit those plays. I mean, he was hitting these crazy little peak angles up and down, moving his head to be able to try to get an advantage and hit those shots. Alula playing it very smart, though. They weren't going to lose that game once they had that numbers advantage. But a wild play from Dopeness here. We'll see if that's going to be the one to pay off for them. They still get an excellent finish in this game, one that they so desperately needed. But it all comes down to this. One game, one play, one moment could be the difference of continuing your stay headed to the finals or going home.
And I'm sure we'll break that down on the desk and really give you the nitty-gritty of just how close this is for some of these teams. But that's why it really is underlined, the point you're making, the fact that it's still not safe for a lot of these squad Jukes. With some of the action we saw there as well. Woo. These teams want it. They're absolutely bringing the heat. And that last game, one mistake, another rough start, you could be cooked.
Yep. Oh, man. And this is the problem. I mean, you are leaving it to the last game. You're going to have every single squad here doing their absolute craziness to try and make it happen. And the thing is this, right? They have their coaches here. They have their squads. They're going to tell them, hey, you got to understand. In order to make it to the finals, you're going to need 20 points and hope these top teams go out early, or you're going to have to hunt them down and do it yourself. It's either one or the other. So if that is what the coach is telling you, that means that you got to play aggressive, like crazy aggressive, right?
Yeah. And we've seen that adaptation from some of our squads, and it's surprising, right? The almost complete personality switch that we're getting from these teams, where they've just gone, all right, we get it. It's either we absolutely put it all on the line, or we know we're not getting to finals. And for some, it paid off. It was a great point injection.
Oh, man. This is going to get wild here, folks. This is going to get wild. And the problem about this, again, is like when you get into that last game and you have, 6, 8, 10 coaches telling all these teams the same thing, you never know what you're going to see. And guess what, folks? We're going to see it, though, here in just a second. Don't go anywhere.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in
يا لو اوكي
تمام.
جدم سنجل لا طيح ياسر
قرب الصغر دكسر ياسر يلا
دمجت وايد جيب الكيل وحش عليك ياسر وحش. We were wondering which teams were going to be showing up, and Alula is one of those teams, Neptura, that ends up showing up in a big way too.
Finally, all right, here we go. That is a great win coming up from Alula. We've been watching them the entire day, right? They've been making these plays, a little bit here and there sometimes, but the splits that they've been doing, the spread, the control they've been trying to get has finally pulled off in a massive 23-point game. And Max, when the overall rankings, when the points when they're so close together, 23 points is massive.
That's a lot of points on board for Alula. I wonder how close they're going to be to the top 6 after a performance like that, though. It's insane how easy it is to get wins when you don't waste all your smokes minute 1 of those matches. Wow, Smoke's pretty good, and Blank has hit you. Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi, Blank. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Since we have Blank here, actually, Blank, you look very stylish. You know what else you can do to look stylish in-game? Just log in, get into PUBG Mobile, and check out that Pmwc Lucky Spin because it is available right now. So make sure you go spin for it before it goes away. It was co-created with PDP creator Nana. You do have the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, and the Alien Infusion grows up, which ends up glowing just like Blank is glowing throughout this whole PMWC.
Oh, shucks, man.
Oh, shucks. Blank, but now that we have you here, I put you on the spot. Which team is not going to make it?
Whoa, triples. I don't think Nongchin Red Force is making it.
Oh, I'm with you, actually.
What was that? What you said?
Sorry, man.
But he's right, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a team that really hasn't been playing that well like we expect them to, right? They've just been too passive. They did end up having that good game, but it was because they didn't have to move. The fight was just coming to them.
The game played it for them pretty much. But there have been other instances like that. And again, I want to go back to groups for them where they played, it was Sosnovka, they played Central. I believe it was Tiamba on the outside. The thing was that they played that game. I thought they did fairly well, but even their coaches and their staff came across after and said, we got very lucky on that one. I didn't quite believe it. I somewhat believe it now, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, actually, the game after that game, because they got back-to-back chicken dinner on the island, right? That was actually a very good game, in my opinion. They had a very good flex out. They had a big split, getting so much information, and ended up getting, in my opinion, their best game of the tournament so far. But we haven't seen that Nongshim Red Force domination yet, even on their win earlier today. As we said, it was not PUBG Mobile. It was an idle game, it felt like, and they just didn't have to do much.
I mean, to be fair, they did kind of pull back a little bit of something in this last game, right? We saw them on that edge, trying to do a lot of things, trying to get, they're very aggressive, very quick on the disengage to move elsewhere, really good on the reaction times if they got knocked, if somebody tried to do something. But ultimately it didn't work out. It did work out for Quick here, though. Look at this nade. It's the 1v3. Yes, 2 are knocked. It doesn't matter. It's a nade. A nade is a nade. Boom! Down they all go, leaving Kenji just going, I'm all alone. Please help me. And no one's there to help him. He does try. He tries his best to come on through here. But yeah, it's an little game. It was from, I think, like stage 6. Honestly, the spread that they had over this was just making sure that they had all that control.
I don't know. I feel like there was quite a few people who could have won this game. Overall, right now, I think that Max was making a great point earlier behind the scenes in our little cupboard that we go back to during these segments. Our dungeon that we live in. He was saying basically that for a lot of these teams right now, they're playing with a huge amount of pressure, and the pressure is really, really hard when you get to survival stage. It's 10 teams going out, 6 in. For Group B, it's way, way easier. Group A and Group B, just because it's only 3 teams that go out, you know you're guaranteed another opportunity going forward. I think it's making these teams make some kind of ridiculous maneuvers right now.
We're talking about that team. One team that we really need to touch base on once again, because this is going to be the final match. It's a team that might not be able to qualify. It is AGAL, because that team is currently in contention for the club championship. You can see them in first place for club championship. If they're not able to make it to finals, they're not going to be getting any points for PUBG Mobile here, Max.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough one. If they do not make it to the finals here, Team Falcons, all those guys are going to try and make a big catch-up. But Vitality in particular, with how they played in their group, again, if you win a a game, right, you get 1,000 points. So Vitality, ooh, they could be actually hot on the heels of the top squads.
Vitality.
Oh no, he's back. He's back. Well, let's take a look at the overall as we're going to be heading into the final match of survival stage here at PMWC at EWC 26. You can see some of their squads, but we're just going to be keeping a close eye on how close everything is right now.
For me, I think the funniest thing right now is that Alula is once again being the team that is knocking out Alpha 7 after that last game, just shunting them right now.
wait, yeah.
It's happening all over again. It feels bad, it really does. But I think Alpha 7 can still make it. I think they've had some really promising performances today, Max. And Neptura, honestly, for me, I think Miramar has always been a map that has surrounded Alpha 7, and it has come to them in their time of need.
It has, yeah. We have seen many a comeback on off the back of a Miramar game. So the last one being Miramar, I think, yeah, it is all to play for. With a couple of points behind the top 6. You know, you do have Goat that had an awesome game, awesome few games, but then have kind of dwindled a little bit there. A7's right on their heels.
Absolutely, but I think the biggest thing for me right now is that Alpha 7 is still smiling. They still look happy. They're pretty much, okay, I'll be honest, they're the only team that still looks happy of everyone down there.
When do they not? Especially with all the noise that the fans have been making that have been really giving Max a headache.
Yeah, looking at the rankings, I want us to all try and agree. Like, who do we think is already locked in 100%? I would say Furion above for me. No way they jump out of top 6, but Wolves, Goat Team, Nongshim, Red Force, if there's a big shuffle happening here, those 3 teams, if they really mess it up on this last match, could fall out of the top 6.
Wolves. I actually have Wolves even in as well, just because of the difference in points with the other squads.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
How about you, Seth?
I think I kind of have to agree with Max. A part of me wants to go, well, it's only 1 point difference. It's very fair, yeah. I think so. I want to say it's like, oh, it's only 1 point difference, so actually it should be second place and above are safe. But you also have to think about which 4 teams that are currently outside of the top 6 are going to come in to replace Furia and below. That is going to be the hard part, right? So even though there's only 1 point difference between them, or maybe 2, it's not going. There's 4 teams are not going to do it. So Ulf isn't going to do it. Geeke probably not. And the points now, there's a much bigger gap. So yeah, I am going to say that it's going to be the bottom 3 of the top 6.
Like, even when we're looking at the second page, Team RRQ, like they could still make that push, right? Especially with the way that Nongshim has been playing. That some of the teams, especially from 5th place to 6th place, they could make that push all the way to top 6.
It is a great point that you make. I almost threw the mic at you there. It's a great. That's fair. It's a great point you make, though, because honestly, from what we see in survival stage right now, we haven't seen massive matches so far. As the crowd does get a little bit loud. Yeah, we haven't seen massive matches. I think some of the biggest games we've seen have been 11 eliminations, 13 eliminations, and I think that's what is skewing our idea. Someone could still come out on this last game and get a 17-15 elimination game with a chicken dinner. That's 25 points. That can rocket you just into the top 6 if you are quite low down.
Yep.
The thing is, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to ask you a question because we have seen it in the past too for PUBG Mobile Esports as well, especially when we go into a match like this where a lot of teams have absolutely nothing to lose. They're going to be playing without that pressure on their shoulders. What does that end up happening, especially with teams that are towards the top? They end up playing passive, and we can see sometimes that they get kind of caught with their pens down for those teams that are being passive.
It definitely opens up an opportunity, right, for the teams that are in the middle of the pack, because your teams at the top that used to dominate, your Tiambas, etc., maybe going to slow it down a bit because we're in, right? We don't have to go extra hard. Teams in the middle like RRQ, that we just talked about, I think is a team that could actually try and go very hard on this one. Maybe not to the point of hot dropping. I would never recommend it.
Lap hard.
I want to see actually Nepeko do well. I feel like Nepeko sold us some really good moments at the start of this year, but it's been a bit more silent here. We can see some players getting together. Well, Alula, you know, you guys are already in.
They're celebrating.
That's a celebration. It looked a bit sad and somber, but they are happy.
They should be celebrating. They put themselves in a great spot to go to this last match. If we can get a chance to see that overall one more time, I would love to see, especially the first match, just to see how close everything is right now between some of their squads. So let us know in the comments below too. Who do you think is going to be secure before we go into the last match? I think Wolves might have done enough, Blank, for them to be able to secure it, especially especially when you got E-Arena with 69 points. You got to remember, not only do they have to get those extra 9 points, they have to make sure that Wolves and those teams above or below also stop performing. They need to stop getting those points.
Yeah, I think the promising thing about Fury, and I'll come back to Wolves, I promise, but the promising thing about Fury is they're still making some mad dashes, they're still making some aggressive rotations, they still have that fight in them. Some other teams are just waiting around a lot for the game to come to them. However, for the Wolves, Seven, I do believe that this is a team that can stay in. They are locking in a big way. Yes, they've made mistakes, but there's constant adapting going on for this squad. I believe in them. I believe in Elementrix, dude.
Yeah, I mean, really happy, especially Necessary, right? He was one of the top players at the very start of this group, so NA, it could be looking good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be heading to the final match of survival stage here at PMWC at EWC 26. Who's going to be joining those teams that are already in the finals? We're about to find out with who the top 6 are and who are the rest that are going to be getting those keys crushed. Hot Jukes, Jackie, take it away.
Thank you so much to the desk for breaking that down beautifully here. We have 5 matches in the books. All right, guys, this is it. We've played all the games, we've done all the math, and now there's nowhere left to hide. One final game. If you're sitting on that cutoff line, forget playing it safe. You've got to make something happen right now. The pressure doesn't get any bigger than this. Here we go with the final match of the survival stage, live here in Paris, France, at the Esports World Cup. This is the PMWC, and it's time to make it happen.
Right here, right now. Hopes and dreams will be crushed for some of these squads. 2 former champions that could potentially not make it to the finals. Paris, France, let's hear it!
Let's go! It's time. As you can see, all the players anxious in their seats. I only saw one smile on the board, and that was one of the Tianba players, because they know they got nothing to worry about right here. But what is the Tianba team gonna do? They're sitting at the top. They are the kings of this lobby right now. And they can also be the executioners. They could say, you know what? You're going home. This is it, the end of the line. Will they decide to hunt some teams down? Which teams will be able to survive that onslaught? It's time to find out.
Tiambas with a butcher blade ready to swing and chop down the other teams. For everyone else, Jukes, this really is a gauntlet. One wrong step, one misplay, a single elim for your squad, and that could be the difference.
Oh my goodness. Thing we were talking about earlier too is, yeah, with Tianba, everybody knows everybody's drop locations. They can hunt you down. They can camp out your drop spot, your rotational path, and make it annoying for you. Let's just see what's gonna happen though. Teams popping out of these planes. A beautiful plane path here for this circle. Alpha 7 are gonna be able to get El Pozo. That is a huge drop location for them. What kind of circle we're gonna deal with though here, Jackie? That is the question. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Here we go. Hey, the EWC doesn't disappoint one bit.
Mate, if we did get something normal, after all the circles we've had throughout survival, it would be wrong. I'm glad we finished it like this.
Oh, man, I know we're glad, but these players are like, are you kidding me? They're going to have to get on the road here mighty fast. You got Alpha 7 in El Pozo. They need to get in their vehicles and get moving. This circle might as well be a zone 3, 4, because so much water is in play here. You got to be able to get one of those dominant positions, especially those teams lower down the leaderboards, because just a regular, 3-point chicken dinner ain't gonna cut it. You will need some serious points.
Gotta bring the heat, man, fully. No more chance for mistakes, but chances for you to get yourself some beautiful skins. So of course, head on in game, give that lucky spin a go, and draw for a piece of that exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set. You don't want to miss it, much like these teams do not want to miss out in one of those coveted 6 places to qualify for our finals.
Oh man, so much to talk about, so much to keep your eye on. Just a quick reminder for anybody that's just been tuning in here at the last second. First off, you missed one heck of a show, I'll tell you that right now. But you came in right on time because this is it. Last game, top 6 is it or nothing. AGAL, the squad really wanting their team to make it into that top 6, not just to make it into the finals for them personally, but also for their entire organization that is battling it out here at the Esports World Cup for those champion points. And if they don't make it into the finals, they ain't getting any.
That's even more brutal there, bro. That club championship sort of looming over you. For so many of our other squads, it's about doing yourself justice, holding that jersey on your chest, and knowing that the organization that supports you is going to be proud with the plays that you've made. Don't leave your fate in the hands of other teams, and that's a very real possibility with what we've got going on in the lobby right now.
Oh, man. Just looking at the points so far, if you are a GAL, honestly, you need to win here. Like, it's either win or go home. We got to look at it. I mean, 75 points is Nongshim Red Force, and this is if they don't even get any points on the board, right? So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. The odds are severely stacked against them, but the math is still possible, right? Until they are out, there's still a chance. So let's see what they're able to do. But right now is that calm before the storm, and this storm is going to definitely ring out a little sooner than normal just because of how crazy this first circle is.
It's windy out there. Pressure's in the air. And tension that you could cut with a knife, it's that thick. Tiamba on the move, making their way up through Los Leones. Goat team on the wraparound as well, slowly coming up the coastline. Nongshim 1 point behind Goat in 6th place. Wolves only 2 ahead of Goat. And in a similar scenario, it's Furia on 79, 1 above them. Inches of distance between our squads. And everyone else standing so close to breaking into that top 6. Both of our former champions outside of the bubble right now. The arena just beneath Alpha 7 by 1 point. Get line of sight over onto Ulf, the team directly competing against them right now in the runnings.
Oh, the tension is so thick here. Guys, there's so many different possibilities. Yeah, I mean, mathematically, Wolves should be okay, right? I mean, because it's going to take either a couple teams at the bottom to go crazy. If Goat and Nongshim get some points on the board, Alpha 7 gets more than 10, and Wolves get none, then they're out. So there's so many different combinations that can happen here. It's going to be tough to keep track of, that's for sure. But man, it's still so many of these teams that can make something happen. But a lot of them need a ridiculous game here. Not a normal game, not a good game, a game of a lifetime. We're talking 20 points minimum. And even 20 points might not be enough because these squads at the top are going to be playing their absolute hearts out here to get something on the board.
So much pressure on you. Rotation from Alpha 7. They're going to be so focused right now, ignoring everything that's happened over the course of this event and trying to treat this as one isolated game. That's the only way you can really approach it safely. Not have that mental side that's really eating away at you.
And you can see, just look at them driving. They're playing this very tight. They are very close together here, not trying to make a single mistake. They can't afford to lose a single player on rotation. And for those of you guys that haven't been keeping up with what's been going on earlier in the year, we have Alpha 7 here, the dominant squad we've known for so long. They are our PMGC champions. And for all of 2026, they have not made a single international final. They didn't do it at PMGO Season 1 in Indonesia. They didn't do it at PMMI in Macau. And now they're here in Paris, France. And they are on the chopping block once again. But they're not too far away. 5 points is definitely within reach. But that's if Nongshim Red Force, Goat, and Wolves somehow, some way don't put anything on the board. They go deep into this circle. They're just on the right side of El Azahar. And they are very familiar with the zone. I've seen Alpha 7 play this position plenty of times.
Zone shift coming in now as well. Ooh. Okay. It plays into their court jigs.
Huge northern shift. A big break, especially for the side of Al Ula, who's all the way up there. They're going to be able to find a pretty spot in this circle. Everybody's now going to have to head towards Alpha 7. They come in very late into the zone, considering that they were all the way on the other side in El Pozo. With this zone shift, they have got the blessing of a lifetime here.
Opportunity presents itself, but they've got to grab it with both hands and not let go. Wolves on a pull-up. That's Furia in the distance. If Furia shut them down here, it would be deadly stuff for Wolves. Both of them so close in the standings, though, it could go either way. Necessary tries to dive back into cover, but the bullets hit quick, and he's dropped by Silence.
Oh no, Elementrix barely hits that broken wall and leaves them out in the open. Now Salonik is getting hit. This is devastation for the side of the Wolves. They need to put something on the board here. 78 points is not enough to feel comfortable at all. And now they are down 2 players.
Down to a duo. If this is a 0-point game.
Oh, one bad drive again. Oh boy, this is AGAL. The team fighting for those club championship points. Now battling it out with DK. Here they go, Safchi barely avoiding those shotgun shots, but they're ringing out back and forth. It looks like AGAL are holding on for dear life here. It's just XZZ, last player up for the team.
Trying to keep himself alive, head above water, wants to go for the pickup play back onto Maple as he runs around towards the stairs. Tiamba with their eyes coming over as well on the push-up. It's Milu close by, but thankfully Ragnarok is tucked in just below the rock face. Alpha 7 even took pot shots onto this. He gets his mate back up in Flower H. Trying to see what more he can do to put a foot down, stop any re-aggression from the side. Ragnarok on the peak, loses out in the duel versus Milu.
And here comes Milu with the pop shotgun! And that is DK eliminated from this tournament. Tianba with nothing to lose. Crushing dreams right here off the rip.
You see it on their faces. The reality of the situation seeps in. They fought so hard. Game in, game out, trying to grind enough points to save themselves an opportunity into the finals. But it ends like that.
They needed a win here and weren't able to make it happen. Out of all the teams they faced, it's Tianba. And now it looks like AGAL is going to have to do the same thing. Tianba, nothing to lose here. They are a lock for the finals. They are so confident. And we've already had one team eliminated. You can see the devastation already. And there's going to be 9 more teams in the same position in just a few minutes.
Cooking nades. One cast deep there from Maple, but not quite on target. A blip from Yangon Galacticus in the Elim feed as they take pot shots off to 721 GS. Kike forced to breathe in the reality of the situation. A brutal feeling to have to go through after fighting so hard, coming so.
Having some great games too, man. I mean, I really hope to see this team continue on here together. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, Galacticos though, they find an elimination. The crowd getting excited here because they know they need them. If it's Yangon, they need a win and they need double-digit eliminations. They know it. They cannot afford to slow down here. One is not enough. They need the flush.
He's come out with the big plays now. Keep it going, keep it developing, hunt down the teams in the lobby and show us what they were made of in last year's PMWC all over again. Cloud on the move as the crowd starts to give the energy out. It's getting hype in here. PwC is bringing the heat, bringing the entertainment, and Cloud looks to close the gap through the smoke, looking for a pickup play.
It's been quiet for far too long. It's time to start making some noise here and cheer these teams on. As 721 GS are getting shot from multiple different angles here. That is beauty of silence actually going and punishing them. But that is a desperate elimination that Yangon Galacticos need, but get another confirmation. 2 to start off.
2's a decent start, but it's got to be even more. They're looking with their eyes scanning around the top side to see if they can find where Masco is, and they will. Romeo will spot him out. That's a third added to the tally. But they can't waste time. Quickly reset off this, take the loot that's necessary, and then push for more.
Let's go, Yangon. Let's see them continue to push it here. But now it's up to a big defense. It's AGAL versus Tianba. The team fighting for those championship points, and they get the knock onto Eagle. They now have the numbers advantage. Tianba, nothing to lose, 0 pressure on their backs. Let's see if AGAL can clutch this up, throw in some more utility. Maple, up close and personal. QZZ, back it off a little bit. He's got that utility, though. One nade can change this fight entirely.
Only 2 players remain alive for the Tiamba side. Nade over onto Flower H's position, but not enough to follow through with it yet. Maple dashing one back, Flower H priming another. That's Goat Team looking for a fight onto Alpha 7 amidst all this as they're all on top of each other.
Here they come. Now that's it, AGAL take out Tianba, and that is 6 eliminations for the squad. They needed every single one of them, and they got them.
You're only going to have a few seconds to catch your breath, though. Everyone so damn close. Quick reset, Maple bandages. Revo takes the hit over onto Killer Joe and puts him down on the deck. Foops man with a reply. It's a headshot connection as they flush out Joe.
And now here comes AGAL in the mix as well. Alpha 7 have to hang on here. If they don't, they will be eliminated. Revo is knocked. It's up to Carrillo. Has to make a play against Force. He's in a 1v1 situation. He's got the shot. He's going to get the MK, though. He's getting hit from multiple angles. And he goes down. Without with the jump down. Gets off-angled as well. And here comes AGAL. Devastation for the side of Alpha 7.
They're down to just one man. Flashbacks of 2025 all over again. As this is where it could end. Obscure trapped miles away, unable to assist, down to such small margins, but it just seems like it's ended off the back of the collapse that comes their way.
Oh man, I do not want to be obscure right now. I'll tell you that. The pressure has to be monumental. You can already see the look on the fans here for Alpha 7. Oh, they can feel what is imminent. But there's one player still up. It's not over until it's over. And Obscure looking for some plays, trying to get some eliminations, and not able to get the finish on the Flower H.
Gut-wrenching stuff. It could still go down to the wire. Obscure's just got to go absolute beast mode. Max energy from this man. That's what we need to see if they've still got a chance to keep themselves in the runnings to go to the finals. But the other squads are looking to build off the back of the weakness that's been shown in this lobby. Goat nearby. Alula again engaging to farm more points off of KRX. E-Arena scrapping against YG. That's Yangon. Possibly going the same way as Alpha 7 if this carries on.
Alula losing a player there. Gonna go ahead and try to get the res off. Definitely want to keep an eye on some of these big contenders here in that top 6. Yangon Galacticos are trying to make a run for it though. But again, they need another 10 plus eliminations and the win if they want it to happen. going to be pretty darn tough. Especially now with just 2 players. Honestly, it's pretty much, they're done. Yeah, they're counted out at this point, at least in my eyes, unless we see an absolute miracle. But are we going to see the miracle from none other than Obscure? We'll have to see.
It's just such a ridiculous environment to be left in, man.
Oh.
The pressure from your team, the pressure from everyone that's on your side. We do see the pressure paying off for AGAL of how they're playing it, though. 8 elims right now.
Woo! What a start for AGAL. Perfect, as a matter of fact. They have every single player up, the zone hardships down to them, and they have the high ground. This could be the comeback for AGAL. Their club championship is on the line here, and they're trying to make it happen for their organization. Ulf, on the other hand, still in the mix here with 67 points. Turns the pop shots onto silence. He's able to barely get away from that one. And this is outside on the edge of the circle. Furia, pretty much a lock here for the finals. At this point, they're just having their victory lap, but Ulf, job's not done yet. Trying to make it happen.
You've got to get so aggressive as well for Ulf. That point barrier slipping further and further away. AGAL take a swift headshot from Schweppes as he flicks over. Reply back onto Joker from Eren with the Mini 14. Furia on the move, but they're going to run into Yangon. The map geometry betrays them. They've got to bail out the vehicle. Romeo down on the deck. Man, it's been lit up.
And that is it. That is our PMWC champs out of there. We will not see a back-to-back victory. We will have a new champion in Paris. And it could be one of the teams that you are seeing here as Wolves. It's barely alive with 2 players. Furia putting in the work here in the final game. And Ulf trying to make a mad dash to the finals.
A lot to get done. Dopeness clashing versus Furia as well, with back and forth trades of blows, leaving it down to 2 players. Side of Furia just looking to farm some points on this one. Alula getting engaged versus the weakened E-Arena, while Hyunbin goes in on AGAL.
Here they go, Nongshim Red Force starting to get some eliminations here. That's devastating for Alpha 7. The worst case scenario for E-Arena as well. It's so easy, is on the push, looking to eliminate AGAL. They get another knock, and now AGAL looking done and dusted here with just 1 single player. And now it's down to Flower, age 6. It's looking grim for AGAL.
In the midst of all that carnage, the last member of Alpha 7, Obscure, falls. They are out, and with that said, both of our prior champions of EWC here at the PMWC have been slain. Like Duke said, this year, another new champion will be crowned.
Oh. The 3rd event for Alpha 7 to not make it into the finals. Back to the drawing board. Something has got to change, that's for sure, and hopefully we'll see that at the end of the year. But now we are here and now. Ulf eliminate Furia. Furia, don't gotta worry. They did enough here. We should see them in the finals. But with that start from Ulf, things are looking good as they still have 4 players up. Catch so experienced here. The whole team very, very seasoned going into this game. They're in 9th place right now. A win here could put them in the running. Wolves are on the chopping block. 2 players up. Gotta survive.
Tied. 5th and 6th place. Go team that fell early into this game, and Wolves both have 78 points. Wolves still have a chance to bolster that and make it more, give themselves a chance to keep their heads above water. It's E-Arena and Ulf that are looking to clamber up and knock them out of those coveted spots. It's still all to play for here for a few of our squads.
Elementrix trying to keep the NA hopes alive as here they go. The bull drive out into the open. They're shimming, they're shaking, they're hitting that gas all the way to the floor, and it looks like they are able to make it up the hill for now.
tuck into the map geometry and provide themselves at least a little bit of cover to buy a bit of time on this one and calm down, reset from it, pop the meds.
Oh, if you're a fan of the Wolves, you're just rooting for Al-Ula and Noxium Red Force right now to wipe out this entire lobby, because they do have a decent point gap, right? I mean, they still have 7 points separating them from E-Arena, even a couple more for Ulf, but a chicken dinner here will get it done. AGAL, you gotta give it to them. Such a strong start with 9, but 9 isn't gonna do it. They need more.
Ula going in. This is onto the Wolves. They've really got to withstand the true test of the finals on this one.
Oh!
Elementrix goes down to Quick as the SMG hits him swift. That's only one player left.
Baton running for his life right now, trying to survive. All they need is just 1-2 points. Any placement point is huge here. As a matter of fact, there's only 7 teams remaining. He's going to secure at least 1 placement point for his team, but you still got a lot of teams here that can put up big points on the board. Dopeness down there, actually getting a knock on a Soulless. That is huge. Ulf have to hang on.
Still got a chance to do it justice on this one. Room to move up, Dukes is nowhere near secure for a lot of these teams. That's the reply you want, though. Nade on target. It's got to convert. The knock isn't enough from this backline. Shots coming over from Nonshin as well as they spot out onto the last member of Wolves.
Man, he's making a lot of noise. That's the problem, though, right? He does get that knock, but he needs to survive longer, as long as possible. And that nade onto Aaron is gonna hurt, because he's completely isolated from the rest of his squad. That's gonna leave Ulf with 2 players up. E-Arena looking like the big threat here as they get a beautiful circle shift onto them. The Thai squad looking good. Dopeness are still in the mix here, as they do end up getting a res on one of their players. They're not out of this just yet. If they win this game and take out this whole lobby, they can make it.
Just gonna rise to the occasion. Down 1 man in the squad, but still playing like a full team with the mentality they've been bringing out here on the last game of the survival stage. Scarface taking pot shots back over to Nonshin Red Force up on the hillside. Dopeness down in the depths. Is he back on the move? Regroup with the squad now. And Wolves, dire straits. You got that knock, but you couldn't convert it. Alula back up to a full squad in the elevated position.
The pressure is on. It's Baton versus the world, trying to make something happen for his team, and it's not gonna be enough. That's the Wolves out of there. And now they're gonna be just hoping that it's just enough. They do end up passing GOAT. That is huge. Let's see if they can hang on, because there's still 2 teams, even 3, that could make this happen.
Nonshin and Alula just start absorbing some of the points from the squads down below. It could leave us in a more locked-in position. E-Arena and Ulf, the ones that are really trying to drag this one to the bitter end with a big finish. It looks like it could be best for E-Arena if they keep this up.
E-Arena broke a record, a PUBG Mobile record in Rondo in the group stage, and somehow are here in the survival stage. Noxium Red Force, the last player of AGA. That's Flower Age. It's done and dusted for that. And here comes E-Arena onto Noxium Red Force, looking to turn things up. It's XVY though, making it happen against Mormon. Joker up close and personal with the shots, and that's Noxium Red Force eliminated.
Massive plays. Gets into the backline, weaves through him, and shuts the squad down. Got to be swift with his decision making though. Pops the smoke, gets his teammates back up fast if he can. It all goes down to this then. Can they get enough out of this one? Finish off Ulf and leave themselves in a position to climb through and fight for that final spot.
Who is gonna get it? A must-win from both of these teams to be confident that you're making it into the finals. And it looks like, guys, we have an even matchup. It's gonna be a 3v3. Ulf versus E-Arena for all the marbles.
you know you've got to win this one. Clean up, take that chicken dinner, and do the best that you could physically do to guarantee yourself that chance of finals safely. They do restock. They get their HP back at just enough time to reset. It will be a fair fight. 3 versus 3, everyone's topped up.
You can hear the crowd starting to make some noise. Both such a seasoned team. E-Arena as well, red hot in this tournament. And it ends up with the 3v3 for your tournament life. Looks like Tourniquet is able to find an airdrop. That is huge at this point. Is able to be at least fully level 3'd out. Doesn't switch out for an air crate weapon, but he's still got that AUG. Tons of util on the side of E-Arena. Both have to be kitted out pretty well here. This is stage 8. This is it. This is the last circle. So this zone will go down into nothing. The first knock is so critical at this point.
One pick, one opening. You could start to flush your way through. You could full commit onto it and shut down the squad with the numbers advantage. Decent damage onto Mormon. He's got to give up that advanced position. Bails a nade back over, and Eren equalized. Both of them on low health.
Beep, beep. Back it up immediately. Get those heals off, reset, try again. Man, that one knock would have been brutal though. Yeah, you can see immediately Tourniquet throwing out those smokes, trying to support his teammate. So that way he can get ready for the rest of this match. Tourniquet gonna be leaving it up to the, no more HP at all. That's it, no drinks, nothing. So this is exactly where he's gonna stay at. Tourniquet, about 70% HP, gets shot as well. Only bandages to make things even. He makes the peak though, puts some damage onto Scarface. Critical here, but Scarface gets some return shots as well. But Scarface is wide out in the open.
They're sweating bullets right now. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to be exposed. You want to be that first domino to fall and have everything collapse on top of you following it. They heal themselves back up, but that's the entry. Scarface goes in. Gangster level plays as he opens it up on Mormon. Joker looking for the reply. Clapped back onto Eren, but he can't find any more. Crumbling down to only one member of the arena, and Joker trapped in the back with no health. They throw the nade right onto him, and that's the boom that gives them their best chance at going through to the finals.
All esports with the clutch chicken dinner, and woo, wipe that sweat off your forehead, baby. You have done it.
Gave it their all there, Jukes. Dire straits for both teams. The twist in the narrative. Our former champions cut down. Squads that were trying to clamber above them cut down. The realization of what's occurred for many of our teams starts to sink in. The hopes, the dreams, everything they put into the love of the game over the course of this season, culminating in the end of their run here and the beginning of the finals for some.
Man, you can see Catch even excited, but still biting his nails, thinking about, do we do it? Everyone's a math expert at this point, right? Just, was it enough to push them into that top 6? That's the question. But a clutch chicken dinner is always gonna get you excited here. So look at this last fight. That initial knock was so critical. And then Scarface, 4-3, gets it right at the end. A beautiful way to finish things out from such a reputable team here in PMWC. But man, some titans, Jackie, have fallen here today. A tough sight to behold every single time.
Yeah, some of the biggest, brightest, some legendary players, names that spark excitement just from having them on our screens, removed from the equation. Trying to figure out if they've made it through or not as all these players are running the numbers. And that's why it was such an intense final game here, Jukes. That's what we said, this has been delivering the survival stage. The fact that we're sat here trying to break down the numbers, waiting for the desk, it's tasty stuff.
We'll see if Wolf did it. We'll see if the Wolves were able to hang on there. as that would be an absolute miracle for the side of North America. But man, what a way to finish things out. A crazy performance. And you can see the look on Baton. He's blinking right now, just wondering, oh, was it enough? We'll find out here in just a minute. But I'll tell you one thing here, folks. The survival stage didn't disappoint at all.
Lived up to its name through and through. The sheer contrast of how this moment now feels for a lot of these players. You can see it there. A team like EK, they gave it their absolute all, Jukes.
Oh man, it was so close. So many teams could have gotten it done. It just came down to that last and final game. And you know, EK had some beautiful signs of life. They looked so rock solid and just weren't able to get it done at the end. That's the tough part here, right? When you reach such a pinnacle tournament like the Esports World Cup, it really just comes down to who can clutch it up right there towards the end. Is he picking at some smiley faces? I see a lot of hearts. That's a good sign, right? But who knows where things are going to end up. We'll wait for the desk, of course, to break it down. But we do know the teams for sure that weren't able to make it. You can see the look on the faces of Alpha 7. Extremely disappointed here once again. And who knows what's going to happen. We know at the end of the year, PMGC coming around the corner. A lot of time to do some homework and come back strong then.
Yeah, got to remedy things and try and reset from it. It means so much to them. They always put blood, sweat and tear into the game. Time and time again, they fight so hard. There's a reason why they've got such a passionate fan base, man. Really exciting team to watch. Fighting hard, Jukes. But this time around, it just feels like the level of competition has risen so high.
Yeah, so high indeed. It's tough to see such a historic squad that had a historic run, right? They won the World Cup a couple of years ago. They win the Global Championships last year, and then not able to make a final this year is rough, you know. But who knows? But this one is so great, right? Every single tournament, there's always somebody stepping up, and someone that's gonna step on the stage looking real good today is gonna be Barney. Let's take it on over to him for some big announcements.
Looking good today. Do I not look good every day, Jukes? That's just out of order. Okay, I'm joined by Tiamba here. The past 2 days were about survival, but for Tiamba, it was about dominance. An absolutely incredible performance over the last 2 days. I've got Eagle here standing next to me. Eagle, let's talk about today's result. Now, coming out of this in such a dominant fashion, has that made the team feel a lot more positive going into the finals?
那么这次生存赛呢，对所有的战队来说都是为了生存而战，但是对天霸来说，完全就是碾压性的遥遥领先。那你们这次在这个生存赛打的发挥的那么好，是否对你们后面的淘汰赛，包括我们最终的决赛里面更有信心了呢？
信心是当然的，因为我们毕竟在澳门打得也很好啊，我觉得这就是我们的实力，对。
Definitely, we are feeling a lot more confident. We have been performing this well throughout the whole year, and honestly, the group stage was an anomaly. So our form is back, and we are feeling absolutely in peak form right now.
I love that. Tiamba are back on top. Right, let's have a little chat about today. Today's performance wasn't as dominant as yesterday, but it didn't really need to be. So I assume you guys came into today with a bit more of like a passive approach. Did you feel like you were going to get targeted, or did you target any specific teams to make your finals run that bit easier?
那么你们昨天就生存赛第一天，你们发挥非常非常好，然后直接吃2次鸡，然后但是今天呢就是发挥稍微稳定一些。那你们是否认为可能是因为其他的战队都在针对你们，然后你们需要做出应对的应对的措施呢？还是说你们的战术也稍微改变一点，你们在针对某一些其他的战队来让他们淹死在这个生存赛呢？
没有听太清楚，但我觉得我们这个今天没有发挥那么好，是，确实前2把手感没有打出来，对，然后，我们肯定还是想着奔着第1来的嘛，所以我们后面几局也没有放弃，还是把自己的游戏内容展现了出来，对。
I'll say today, at least for the first 2 matches, our hands weren't that hot, and we felt like we definitely didn't play to the best of our abilities. But we're still always gunning for #1, so we are still trying very hard throughout every single match.
All right, well, with that being said, we've got some things to do, gentlemen. It's time for the fun part. Follow me. Let's go over to the Crusher. It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. I bet this is the fun bit. They've done all the playing. They've competed here on the Qiddiya City grid throughout the entire of these last 2 days of the survival stage. But now it is time to fulfill their destiny and to crush